Arin was a creature of the Overworld, his diamond-tipped axe a familiar extension of his arm, his movements as fluid as the rivers he often camped beside. But lately, the peace of his world had curdled. Tales whispered from terrified villagers spoke not of scattered zombie hordes or the isolated hiss of a creeper, but of something far more organized, far more menacing. Piglin raiders, emboldened and equipped like never before, spilled from newly formed obsidian gates, stealing gold, scorching farmlands. Their leader, King Grol, ruled from deep within the Nether, a malevolent force whose influence seeped into every corner of the Overworld. Arin had seen enough. The pleas of a desperate village elder, her voice hoarse with fear, solidified his resolve. He would journey to the source. He would confront King Grol and sever the twisted root of his power. His preparations were meticulous. Golden ingots were painstakingly crafted into sturdy plates and a gleaming helmet, for he knew the Piglin's strange respect for the precious metal. His diamond sword, seasoned by countless battles, was sharpened to a razor's edge. A bow, strung taut, and a quiver full of enchanted arrows were secured to his back. Potions of fire resistance, crucial for the infernal realm, clinked softly in his satchel, alongside stacks of cooked steak and obsidian blocks. He took a final deep breath of the cool, clean overworld air, then stepped through the shimmering purple veil of his carefully constructed portal. The Nether assailed his senses with suffocating heat and a sickly crimson light. The air tasted of ash and sulfur, the constant thrum of distant ghasts an unnerving lullaby. Arin found himself on a narrow ledge overlooking a sea of churning lava, its surface dotted with defiant islands of netherrack. Below, in the crimson forests, fungal trees pulsed with an eerie alien light. He began his descent, each step calculated, each glance scanning for movement in the oppressive gloom. A shriek tore through the air, and a spectral orb of fire shot towards him. A ghast, its grotesque face a mask of sorrow and fury, hung suspended above the lava lake. Arin's bow sang, an arrow streaking through the smoke, piercing the creature's tentacled body. It reeled, shrieked, then exploded into a shower of tears and gunpowder. He moved on, his heart pounding, a grim satisfaction settling over him. He traversed the bleak stretches of the Soul Sand Valley, the ground beneath his feet grasping at him with unseen hands, the skeletal remains of forgotten creatures littering the landscape. Skeletons, their bones rattled by the hot winds, aimed their bows, forcing Arin into a desperate dance of evasion and counterattack. The glowing red eyes of a charging magma cube horde meant a brief, chaotic skirmish, his sword cleaving through fiery forms, only for them to split into smaller, equally aggressive replicas. Each encounter sharpened his focus, each victory stealing his resolve. Days blurred into a relentless trek. He built small fortified shelters, huddling against the oppressive heat, constant threats and suffocating isolation. His golden armor, a beacon in the gloom, kept the standard piglins from attacking on sight, allowing him to bypass many skirmishes. But the piglin brutes, their formidable golden axes glinting, paid no heed to his attire. They were guardians, unyielding and territorial. He learned to outmaneuver them, drawing them into traps, or engaging them with swift, decisive strikes. He followed crude paths forged by piglin patrols, the occasional glint of gold ore in the netherrack signifying their presence. The air grew thick with the smell of scorched earth, and something metallic. Then, rising from the crimson horizon like a jagged, ominous mountain, he saw it. A colossal Bastion Remnant. Its dark, angular form, studded with gold and blackstone, was an undeniable fortress, a testament to the warlord's power. This was King Grol's domain. Infiltrating the bastion was a perilous undertaking. He navigated crumbling bridges over lava chasms, scaled precarious ledges, and picked his way through labyrinthine corridors. The bastion teemed with piglins, their grunts and squeals echoing through the vast halls. He dodged watchful eyes, slipped past patrols, and, when cornered, fought with a primal ferocity, his diamond sword a blur of devastating strikes. Blaze spawners cast an eerie light in some rooms, their fiery occupants adding another layer of danger, their scorching projectiles forcing him to gulp down his fire resistance potions, their effects a welcome chill against the relentless heat. He pressed deeper, following a strange path of increasingly ornate golden blocks and polished blackstone. The grandeur of the interior spoke of immense power and an unsettling, meticulous order. This was no ordinary piglin stronghold. This was a king's seat. He finally reached a massive, imposing doorway, flanked by 2 towering piglin brutes, their axes resting menacingly on their shoulders. Their eyes, devoid of the usual piglin curiosity for gold, held only unwavering loyalty. Arin took a final swig of the strength potion, its potent warmth spreading through his limbs, and charged. The battle was swift and brutal. The brutes, massive and relentless, swung their golden axes with terrifying force. Arin parried, dodged, and struck with practiced precision, his sword finding weak points in their thick hide and golden armor. One fell, then the other, their heavy forms crashing to the black stone floor with a resounding thud. The path to the throne room lay open. He pushed open the colossal doors. The air within was thick with the scent of ozone and something ancient. The room was immense, a cavern carved from obsidian and polished blackstone, its walls studded with glowing magma blocks that cast flickering shadows. In the center, on a raised dais of solid gold, sat the throne. It was a monstrous thing, sculpted from dark, unyielding stone, inlaid with intricate gold patterns, and crowned with 2 sharp, upward-pointing blackstone spires. And upon it, radiating an unnatural stillness, sat King Grol. The warlord was larger than any piglin Arin had ever seen, his body encased in gleaming dark-gilded netherite armor, his eyes glowing with unsettling, intelligent malevolence. He clutched a massive, ornate golden axe, its edge glinting with a sinister light. He didn't charge. He merely rose slowly, his gaze fixed on Arin, a silent challenge in his posture. The confrontation was epic. King Grol moved with terrifying speed and strength, each swing of his axe capable of cleaving Arin in 2. Arin, fueled by determination and the strength potion, danced around the massive piglin, his lighter sword a lightning-fast counter to the warlord's brute force. Sparks flew as diamond met netherite. Arin ducked under a wide swing, his sword scoring a deep cut on Grol's leg. The king grunted, a sound of pure rage, and pressed his attack, forcing Arin back. Arin took a moment, eyeing his opening, then rolled fainting left, and plunged his sword deep into the warlord's unarmored chestplate. King Grol gasped, a guttural sound that seemed to shake the very foundations of the bastion. He staggered, dropping his axe with a heavy clang, his glowing eyes dimming, his immense form crumbling to the ground. A final, shuddering breath escaped him, and then there was only silence, broken only by the distant thrum of the Nether and Arin's ragged breathing. Arin stood, his chest heaving, his body aching, but triumphant. He had done it. The Piglin Scourge, the architect of Overworld terror, was no more. He looked at the fallen warlord, then up at the throne. It sat empty, a dark, imposing monument to a reign of terror. He felt a strange pull towards it, a sense of completion, perhaps even a brief moment of overwhelming exhaustion. His muscles screamed for rest, and the throne, dark and alluring, seemed to offer it. He approached the dais, his footsteps echoing in the suddenly silent hall. He climbed the steps, his gaze still fixed on the intricate golden patterns of the throne. He reached out a hand, feeling the cold, smooth blackstone. A conqueror's gesture, a moment of claiming victory. Slowly, deliberately, he lowered himself onto the seat. A strange warmth bloomed in his chest, spreading outwards, tingling through his limbs. The blackstone felt not cold, but alive, pulsing with a faint internal heat. His vision blurred for a moment, the vast chamber seeming to expand, to become more his. A weight settled over him, not physical, but a sense of profound gravity. He felt his skin begin to prickle, a strange coarseness forming on his hands. His fingers, once slender, felt thicker, stronger, almost like hooves. A dull ache began behind his nose, a phantom sensation of it lengthening, broadening. He tried to stand, but an invisible force seemed to root him to the throne. His mind, once clear and focused on the overworld's safety, was now flooded with new, powerful impulses. Gold, dominance, the scent of a distant player in the overworld. Not as a friend, but as a source of tribute. The world beyond the throne room was no longer just the Nether. It was his kingdom, vast and waiting to be brought to heel. He looked down at his hands, undeniably Piglin, coarse golden hair sprouting from thickened knuckles. His reflection, caught in a polished blackstone slab, showed eyes that gleamed with unsettling gold, a snout replacing his human nose. The transformation was complete, yet ongoing, etching itself into his very soul. He was Arin no longer. He was the king. A primal, instinctual hunger for gold and power, for the relentless expansion of his domain, surged through him, extinguishing the last vestiges of his human purpose. He felt the weight of his new armor, the familiar comfort of the Piglin's golden gleam. From the shadows, the remaining Piglins of the Bastion cautiously, reverently emerged. They did not see the human warrior who had just slain their king. They saw only their new leader, radiating an unmistakable aura of power, his presence imbued with the ancient magic of the throne. They bowed, their grunts a chorus of newfound loyalty. The cycle was unbroken. The curse of the Nether King's throne was not merely to transform the body, but to seize the spirit, bending it to the will of the Nether itself. Arin, the hero, was gone, replaced by King Arin, a new warlord, ready to consolidate his power, to hoard his gold, and to cast his long, dark shadow across the vulnerable overworld once more. The Nether had claimed another,